Hello,
And welcome back or welcome to Books and Crannies.
a book lovers podcast.
That's
I'm Sarah.
freaking right. I'm Danielle. And we're glad you're here. Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Merry week before Christmas week, friend.
Yeah,
I hope
we're
you're all doing dandy.
we're happy you're here.
Really happy. So happy because it is Christmas month
Yeah,
and you gotta spread the cheer, you know?
you have to.
the,
It's
the
required.
cheery vibes. And today, my friends, we are talking about a Christmas book
Yeah, we are.
called Saint Nick by Alan Russell, the whole dang
Yeah,
thing. And this is giving Santa Saves Christmas with a twist,
yeah,
cop related twist.
yeah.
And we didn't want a romance. So if you
No,
were looking for that in our Christmas vibe, then
get out of here.
leave. The
No,
door is
stay.
right there. Actually,
Stay.
though,
It's gonna be fun.
yeah, we want you to stay and listen and chat with us. So,
Yeah.
but before we do that, Sarah, how the heck are you?
Oh, I'm good.
You're
It
good.
feels it feels a little weird to be recording not there.
I know. I know.
This room feels so white.
It is a different vibe. But you know what? It's working. It's
It
working out.
is. Yeah.
We had to pivot, friends. I think this might happen here and there, especially with the winter being
Hmm.
upon us and sicknesses.
Yeah.
Sicknesses, you know?
Yeah. I
So
don't
deal with
always
it.
want to drive 45 minutes in the snow to
Yeah.
go see a sick Danielle.
Yeah. Which is like fine, I guess. I'm just
I
kidding. Makes
guess.
total sense. I don't want you to have the crud we've had. Like
Yeah,
we're doing
no.
pretty good, but I'm just getting over sickness that lasted for a couple weeks. And my husband just recently got it, and my daughter has it, and there's a lot of boogers. There's a lot
Yeah.
of coughing. There's a lot of ick up in
And
this house.
when I'm around that tiny baby child, I can't help but snuggle and smooch her.
You have
So,
to. It's required. She's the cutest thing ever.
yeah.
But yeah. But have you had a good couple weeks? One
Yeah,
week? However many weeks it's been?
it's been fine. You know, work was busy because Thanksgiving,
Mm.
you
People had
know.
to get their Thanksgiving haircuts.
Yeah, which is great. I got more hours than I was scheduled, which hasn't happened in a while because it's been slow and
Right.
made good money. So,
I mean, those are all good things.
yeah. But how are
It,
your couple weeks besides being sick?
fine. Mostly that,
Yeah, yeah.
Taking my job is really hard when I'm sick and the kids are sick. So I had a
I
week
can
of
only
like,
imagine.
oh, it was brutal. And so that was a lot. But,
Yeah.
this week I took a couple days off because I got more sick over the weekend. And I was like, I'm never going to recover if I don't take a step and like
Yeah.
relax. And
Rest a little
so,
bit.
yeah, so I took a couple days off and I only worked one day this week. So that was fine. And I got home early because it was the day before Thanksgiving. And then
Nice.
we had Thanksgiving and it was good to see family and vibe. My sister was in town, so it was good.
Very good.
Yeah, just been busy. And now I'm taking care of my sick husband and child. So now that I'm feeling better, everyone else is sick. So
Naturally.
yeah, of course. But it's been good. I'm chilling.
Well, good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how are you guys?
Yeah, how's your weeks?
Let us know. Drop it in the comments. I don't know what I'm talking like this for, so sorry.
I was like, why are you doing that?
Because I'm a fool. Foolish. But any freaking who, Sarah, do you want to talk about this book or what?
Yeah, let's dive right in, friend.
Let's do it. To preface,
What is
we
this?
I like it. If you're not watching, Sarah has a really cool hair tuft going on. There you go. Now it's not a little bumpy boy. You got to swoop.
I'm a mess. Put
It's fine.
headphones on freshly washed hair.
I feel that. Mine was still kind of wet when we started, so it's gonna
Same.
have like a headphone uh, vibe about it, but
Yep.
it's fine. But anyway, I was gonna say, we read this book over the last 2 weeks, so who knows how much we will remember.
Yeah, you know our memories when we've read it the prior week. Like it
Yeah,
is
yeah. When we read it a day before recording.
literally or same day.
Yeah, yeah, it could be gone. But I think that it's a pretty straightforward story, so hopefully we'll get through enough of it
For sure.
to tell you the gist at least.
Yeah.
But this is about a cop.
Yeah.
Or a currently out of commission cop. He's not on the
Yeah, he's
force right
like
now.
on
He's been
probation or
yeah.
something.
His name's Nick.
Nick
Uh
Peppus.
Nick Pappas?
Pappas.
Pops?
Pappas.
Pappas? He's Greek. And he did something. He had a accident while
There
he
was an
was on duty.
incident that injured a
He
child.
accidentally shot a kid, which
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
But it was not intentional.
No, it was
She
absolutely a
survived.
freak accident.
Yeah.
And
And
he
she
was like
survived.
getting attacked. And
Yeah.
what do
Yeah.
you mean?
What? Come on. Why is he now then put on like they're in the beginning of the book, they're undergoing some sort of like review of him to decide whether or not he can continue being a police officer.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dang, he was just like self defense. That and like the kid survived. She was okay.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. But
Yeah. People are talking in the media because he was like leaving a poker game. And so they're like
oh,
making him out to be this. He was drunk and
yeah.
he's got a gambling problem and blah blah
More
blah.
drama than necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he in the beginning of this book is in a really bad state.
Yeah,
He
it's dark.
Yeah, not only has he been like booted from the force for the time being, but he is divorced and hasn't seen his kids for a long time. And I
Mhm.
feel like it was because of this event too.
Yeah.
Like the wife and his family, he doesn't have them with him anymore because of this thing too. So this like big event kind of uprooted his whole life,
Mhm.
derailed things, and he is in a really dark place mentally and doesn't really see a point in like carrying on.
Yeah.
And then he gets a call from his former cop buddy.
Yeah, his former partner, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Who is not a cop anymore. Like he retired and is a security guy at a mall or something.
Uh-huh.
But like the top dog security guy. He's not just like
Yeah.
a mall cop, you know?
Yeah. He's the
It,
eyes in the sky
yeah. He's
guy.
running the show guy. Yeah. And he calls up freaking Nick and he's like, hey, brother, I need you for something. And also want to come to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And Nick is like, I'm busy. And he's like, are you though? And so he ends up convincing Nick to both come to Thanksgiving or maybe not. I don't know. It's like the day of and he doesn't end up going, but he does take this job from his former partner, Buddy.
Mm-hmm.
He asks him to like be undercover or something
Yeah.
because they
Because
have
there's this string of robberies at the mall.
these unruly hoodlums who are
Hoodlums.
robbing who are robbing all of the patrons of the mall.
All the
They
Christmas shoppers.
Yeah, because it's the end of end of November, early December,
Yeah.
and so yeah, Nick shows up at the mall one day. He's like, "I'm ready to do your thing, brother," and the guy's like, "Surprise! You're gonna be
You're gonna be
Santa."
Santa Claus. And Nick's like, what the hoodly heck?
I didn't freaking sign up to be Santa. What the hell? And he's like, well, yeah, I don't have it. Like, we need you, bro. He like at least do a couple of days or something, and then we can talk about it. And
Yeah.
also, here's our head elf. I don't remember her name.
I don't know. Angela? Is that
Yeah,
right?
Angie, maybe. Angie.
Angie. I feel like that's it. Yeah.
And he like pairs him up with this head elf who's like really intense about being an elf.
Yeah.
And
She
like out
takes her job very seriously.
Yeah, but when it's not December, she's like an accountant or
Yeah.
something. But she's the head elf and like sets him up with his Santa costume and gets him all his padding and freaking tells him all the tricks about being Santa
Mm-hmm.
and like guides him through his first shift. Like they leave the back room and he's just bombarded with people and she's like dancing and singing and handing out candy canes and she's like just say like these cash item things you can say like you gotta be jolly and smile a lot and like
Yeah, you gotta be
clear
Santa.
yeah, and Nick is like not at all in that headspace.
No.
But the whole idea is that while he's in his Santa's sleigh talking to children, which I'm like, how could he do anything else but be Santa? But he's supposed to then, you know, be able to watch them all because the Santa exhibit is like in the very heart of it
Uh-huh.
and see if he sees any sketchy people.
Suspicious behavior.
Yeah, that he can then catch on and catch these culprits.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he starts doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And he does end up like seeing some guys that are suspicious,
Mm-hmm.
that are like targeting people, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't end up catching him the first time that Nick like picks him out of the crowd.
Yeah. The way they like communicate too really makes me laugh because he has like a walkie-talkie that he keeps in his sleigh and he picks it up and is like, I have a Grinch at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, it's very Christmas themed cop code.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after the first couple days or whatever that he agreed to do, he's like convinced that he's going to be done with it. And they convince him that he very much isn't.
Yeah.
And he ends up staying on as Santa. But there's like somebody calls in or asks for his help, like coverage to go to the children's hospital because the guy who was supposed to be Santa at this hospital, something happened.
His car broke down or something.
Yeah, and I think that's actually what loops him back in. Like he has every intention of just taking the uniform to go cover for this guy and then bringing it back and being done as Santa.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes to the children's hospital
Yeah.
and is Santa.
For all these sick, dying, sad kids.
Yeah, and meets one specifically that he like feels a type of way about,
Mm-hmm.
who has cancer or something and is
Yeah.
really ill and super like closed off to everybody because his parents live in a different state but like sent him to this specific hospital to get the best care and can only visit him here and there.
Yeah.
It's like really reserved and quiet and tells Nick that his Christmas wish is for snow
Mm-hmm.
because he comes from somewhere with winter.
Yeah. He also like absolutely knows that Nick isn't actually Santa.
Yeah. And Nick is like, hey man, Santa needs helpers, okay? And like
Yeah.
convinces him that he is not the real Santa, but that he's helping the real.
But that he knows the real Santa.
Yeah. He's like, I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course he doesn't end up returning the suit and he keeps being Santa.
Mm-hmm. Angie at some point also like asks him to respond to letters that kids have written him.
That's right.
And I
There's
feel
so
like
many.
that's another part of what keeps him on because there's a letter from a little girl named Laura
Yeah.
who is like, Santa forgot about me last year. He couldn't find me because we were living in our car. And
Another
then,
like sob story for Santa.
yeah. And then his other goal, besides making the sick kid happy, is finding Laura
Yeah.
so that she doesn't get forgotten by Santa again.
Yeah. And he feels
Ugh.
all obligated for that.
Mm-hmm.
So he has this kid with cancer in the hospital asking for snow. He has this anonymous Laura who they can't find her. Like there's no video proof of her dropping off her letter. Like it's a whole mystery, missing person.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find Laura case. Who's
Yeah.
like, Santa doesn't love me. And he's like, well, I love you and I'm Santa. And then,
And by the way, the kid asking for snow, they're like in LA or something
yeah,
like that,
yeah,
where it's like hot as balls.
it's California. Yeah,
California.
it doesn't
It's
snow
somewhere.
there.
It doesn't
Somewhere in there.
snow. And they're also like getting the Santa Ana winds, which makes it really hot and
Yeah. Yeah. Zero condition for snow.
yeah.
And all of that is just secondary to his real job, which is trying to catch these freaking robbers who
Yeah.
are accosting people at the mall.
Yeah.
So, of course, he carries on being Santa. And for these mall perpetrators, he like, I think multiple instances like happen where they keep striking and they still haven't really caught them. They also hear that they've moved on to another mall, and they're like, well, maybe they won't come back here.
Mm-hmm.
But they keep, like, I think at one point Nick's in the parking lot and like helps an old woman, and while he's helping the old woman, a weird creepy van passes by who is clearly
Uh-huh.
like scoping her out to take all her bags.
Yeah.
It's like that's all happening. And then with Laura, a freaking like news reporter comes to try to talk to Nick
Uh-huh.
and picks up the story of Laura.
Yeah.
And oh. The reason that the news reporter came is because a football player came with his daughter to see
Oh,
Santa.
that's right. Yeah.
And he asked Santa for a win, like for their team, the Sea Lions.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick is like, yeah, totally, bro. Santa can do that.
Yeah.
And then they actually win.
Yeah, and it's this big deal.
And it's big deal. And so this news reporter comes to talk to him and knows who he is. Like this
Mm-hmm.
guy, his name is known because of the whole event with the
The
shooting,
kid and the cop and the yeah.
the drama. But this news reporter comes to talk to him about the Sea Lions game or something and ends up picking up the story about Laura.
Mm-hmm.
And like she interviews him on the news as
Mm-hmm.
Santa, like doesn't
Yeah.
reveal his identity. And they're like, we need to find Laura.
Everyone help. Where are you, Laura?
Yeah. Which results in everyone and their moms sending presents for Laura to Santa. Like
Yeah.
thousands of gifts are coming.
Yeah.
And then on the side of that, the sick kid, what's he doing for the sick kid?
I don't know.
Well,
He like visits him a lot. He
yeah,
comes and sees him all the time.
because
Oh,
he's
and
lonely.
he's trying to make it snow for Sick Kid. Raymond, is that his name?
Yeah, that
I
feels
want to
right.
stop referring to him as Sick Kid.
It's probably better.
So
Yeah,
he's
Raymond.
like trying to reach out to this company that makes snow scenes and just keeps getting sent to voicemail, never getting a call back. And then he goes and like scopes this guy out, the owner of the snow company,
Yeah,
and stalks him at his
yeah,
place of work and is like, "Hey bitch, give me snow."
yeah. And gets that lined up. But
Also, $5,000
I know, like an
for
insane
snow that's going to
amount.
last like 2 hours? Are you kidding
Right.
me?
Yeah. Yeah, and before all of the snow goes down and any more Laura stuff, like one day Nick decides to dress up as an old man. Not
Yes.
Santa, but use like his Santa beard and shit
Yeah.
to like act as if he's this frail mall shopper to try to
Uh-huh.
bait these robbers,
Mhm.
and gets a bunch of bags as he's going through the mall. And as he's like heading out to his car, hobbling as if he's an old
Hobbling,
man,
hunchbacked to his car.
they come driving up naturally. And there's like three guys, and he
Uh-huh.
ends up taking them all down.
he, he like has a crowbar or something stashed in his pants.
Yeah.
It's like,
And he beats them
look at
all up.
my stick, suckers.
He beats them all up. And what was wild to me is that this was like the main premise of the story, and it ended probably 70% of the way through the book. They're like, done. And now let's focus on these children.
I also think it's funny that he's like, I didn't have any handcuffs, so I just tied him up with rope.
No, with ribbons from the bags. And I was like, there's no chance that that will hold them for very long. But his whole shtick from the beginning just ended. Like, and there was still
Yeah.
at least 30% of the book left, which was funny to me, but whatever.
Yeah.
So he figured out the robberies real quick.
Uh-huh.
And then the Laura situation, they're receiving just absurd amount of gifts to the mall from people
Mhm.
trying to like help Laura. And so they start like a toy drive basically where Angie's taking control of all of this. Like she
Yeah.
starts renting U-Hauls to like deliver toys to hospitals and whatever else,
Uh-huh.
or to like impoverished cities and stuff. And they have to like recruit more people to drive and all of this
And
stuff.
dress up as Santa.
Oh,
Santa
and
has to deliver the presents, you know.
I know, but I forgot something, Sarah.
Oh.
In regards to the robbers, apparently one of the people who was also Santa in the mall was a part of it. And it's like this punk 20-some-year-old kid who was playing Santa on other shifts and got fired or something.
I
And he was
totally
one of the
missed that.
robbers. Yeah, the little punk Santa.
That went way over my head.
Well, they had like insider information because he was Santa, even though he's 20 years old.
Makes sense.
So yeah, they're running a toy drive. And
Damn that punk. Sorry.
yeah, freaking punk Santa. God. But the toy drive situation, back to the football player. He comes
Yeah.
back after they win because Santa
Uh-huh.
said they would and brings like his whole team
With the whole team, yeah. And they all
and
sit on Santa's lap.
ask for a win. And he's like,
Uh-huh.
I can't promise anything, pals.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do. And also, if you do win, you got to come back and help us with this toy drive.
Mm-hmm.
And they win.
They do. And then they all come back
And help with the toy drive
and dress up
for a
as
week.
Santa.
And they're all like giant freaking defensemen.
Big old
As Santa.
Santas.
Yes.
One of them, the original one, also gives Nick a jersey
Oh,
signed
yeah.
that he gives to Raymond.
He does. He gives it to Raymond, though, after he gets Snow delivered.
Oh,
But
yeah.
unfortunately, the day that Snow is delivered to the hospital, Raymond is unconscious in the ICU
Yeah, he's not doing good.
and misses the snow.
Oh.
But all of the other sick kids like run down and get to play in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it's still a good deed. And Angie even shows up and like plays elf for all of these sick kids.
Yeah.
But luckily Raymond does end up waking up
Mm-hmm.
and Nick gives him this jersey and like plans to spend Christmas morning with him.
Yeah. Because his
And
family is not there for
I think
Christmas.
they're coming
Or they're
like
coming later.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes to visit him on Christmas Eve, and is like, I'll be back in the morning or whatever. But while he's there Christmas Eve, he gets a call about Laura. And it
Mhm.
sounds like the reporter lady or whoever found a hit on Laura, and they're gonna go like try to find her and talk to her. And they end up learning that the person who like brought her to drop off the letter is the neighbor, and the Laura's mom like is a single mom who works all the time to try to keep bread on the table, and had prepped Laura to assume it's going to be like Christmas. Like they don't have a lot of money, they're
Yeah.
barely making it work. And Nick comes dressed as Santa with Angie in tow and brings Laura a bunch of gifts, and it's all cute and sweet.
Yeah. He's like banging on their door at 10 p.m. Like, it's Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I would not open the door.
No, regardless of if you're dressed as Santa. That's
No.
weirder. But of course, the little girl's like, what? It's Santa. So anyway, Laura gets presents, so she's excited. And then that night, Nick like goes to bed and has a dream.
Yeah.
He has a dream that he wakes up and it's somehow snowing.
It's snowing.
And
he goes outside.
And Raymond is there, but he's like healthy.
Yeah.
And Santa's there.
Mm-hmm.
The sleigh.
The real Santa.
Yeah. And Raymond's like, I've come to say goodbye or something.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no. And then when Nick wakes up for real, it has in fact snowed.
It is actually snowing. Unrealistic.
Yeah, please. And he like gets a call as he's trying to head to the hospital from the nurse that he's been chatting with this whole time to tell him that Raymond passed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that this dream of goodbye was like actually Raymond coming to say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Oh.
Sad.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting him to actually die. Because of the rest of the book, I was like, there's going to be some like miraculous recovery and he's going to be healthy at the end.
Yeah, you'd think. I feel like that's most like Christmas tales.
Uh-huh.
You know, there isn't actually any bad that happens.
Yeah.
They overcome it all. Poor Raymond.
Poor Raymond. On Christmas.
I know. But Also,
Yeah.
sometime in all of that, Nick Nick also got a voicemail that because not only did he do the interview with the reporter about Laura, but they ended up revealing his identity to like spread the story more.
Oh,
And he was
yeah.
able to like tell his side of the story of what happened with the little girl.
Yeah.
And while they're like waiting to get a voicemail from the person who Laura's with, whatever, he has a voicemail from the police department that he's like been accepted back and he can become a
Yeah.
cop again.
Yay, Nick.
Yeah. And
Also, the reporter that helped him with all of this, they were definitely falling in love
yeah, they're going on
naturally.
dates and stuff.
Yeah.
They're dating. And also, at one point, his little daughter comes to see Santa, knowing it's him because of all the stories on the
Yeah.
news. So he like reconnects with his
Yeah.
kids.
Oh.
Oh, and I think at the end of it all, they like tear down Santa, and he's gonna be a cop. He's dating this reporter.
Uh-huh.
Laura got her Christmas. Freaking poor Raymond was the only loose strand, but he had like a goodbye moment, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's on pain.
Oh, the elf. The elf who has been by his side this whole time
Angie.
was the one who got all the presents for Laura because
Oh
we learned
yeah,
that they were her daughters, but
she lost a daughter.
her daughter died on Christmas Eve or something like that.
Yeah, one of her daughters. She has one, but
Yeah.
she like kept all of the presents from the year that her daughter died that were meant for her. And she ended up
Yeah.
giving them to Laura because all of the
Yeah.
thousands of gifts that they got from people from the news like
Were
went for
sent
the
to
toy
other
drive.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of sweet things. It felt like a freaking Hallmark movie.
For
But
sure. Very wholesome
yeah.
and unrealistic.
Oh, certainly. But it was cute.
It
And I feel like
was.
that's literally all that happened, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't there wasn't all that much.
Wasn't a horribly complicated book, but it was pretty fun. It was a holiday vibe.
Yeah.
And yay for Nick and for Angie and for
And
freaking
Charlotte
Charlotte, the news reporter, and
and
Laura.
Laura.
And everything ended up happily ever after, except for poor
Yeah.
Raymond.
Oh.
So yeah.
Wow.
What what did you rate this one, Sarah?
I gave it 3 stars. What did you rate it?
I also gave it 3 stars.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you want to give me your review?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Well, I feel like it was highly predictable. I felt like it was very simple and that it was a Hallmark movie on page, which I don't love Hallmark movies to begin with.
Same.
But it was a cute story. I liked Nick enough. I really liked Angie. I liked their dynamic. And I also like that he was like Scrooge turned Santa, you know what I mean? And had this relatively cute character arc of like really finding joy and becoming Santa and spreading that joy to others.
Mm-hmm.
It was very much Christmas Tale, made me feel a little cheery come the end of it. I like that it was a little bit different take on a Christmas Tale. Like we're not just like, meet cute, fall in love vibes.
Yeah.
And it's not like I actually became Santa, the real Santa,
Yeah.
like the movies.
Uh-huh.
It was a little bit different take and I like that. I mean, it was easy, lighthearted read for the most part. And as far as dropping stars, it was entirely unrealistic and kind of cringy in some moments. And probably not something I'd ever read again.
Yeah.
So what about you?
Great. I agree with everything that you said. I really did enjoy like watching Nick's growth throughout the story and watching him go from oh woe is me to like no, I can do things and not be so sad all the time.
Yeah.
I
He
enjoyed that.
grew.
Yeah.
Me too.
And I feel like the book did what I wanted it to do, which was kind of get me in the Christmas spirit a little bit. Like
Yeah. That's true.
I don't know. It was cute and I didn't hate it. And yep.
Yep.
But yeah, same. I took stars away because obviously very unrealistic. I feel like there were so many things happening
Yes.
all at the
Why?
same time that I was like, why can't we just like stick to one or two or maybe three? Why does it have to be 17?
Yeah, there were a lot of things going on. And what I felt like was going to be the main plot point was dropped really quickly.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but like he's a cop and like this is more what I expected for him than all
Yeah.
of these other like cutesy Santa things. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But it was fine.
It
It
was.
was fine. What did you
It
guys think
was.
of it?
Yeah. You got to let us know.
If you've read it. I mean, I feel like this is I had never heard of it before we looked into Christmas books. And it's
Yeah,
like
no.
wildly hard to find a book that is not a romance for the Christmas holiday.
It
So
really
work
is.
on that, people.
Yeah.
God.
Give me like a Christmas horror. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I think there were some that we'd found, but it was just like winter is a holiday, you know?
Right.
Like, what about Murder Santa?
Yeah.
What if a Rudolph gone rogue?
Give me Cujo vibes, but with reindeer.
Exactly. Now that is a Christmas book I would read.
Oh my
But
goodness.
it was fine. It was fun, I guess.
It was. It got us
Now
in the spirit.
yeah, now we are ready for Santa.
Yeah, we are. Come and get
But
me, Santa. Ugh.
well, next week, guys, we are gonna do something different.
Yeah.
We are
We're
gonna
gonna
have
have
our
a Christmas
own,
special.
yeah, Christmas special, and we get to have a little fun while talking to you guys. I do want to say though that for anyone who generally listens on a podcast platform, you can still do that, but it might be more fun to watch this one.
Yes, for sure.
So,
So you can find us on YouTube.
Yeah,
next week.
sure can. Well, Sarah, what the heck else are you reading though?
Well, I have a lot.
Me too, kind of. I mean,
I finished Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. The last 15%, and I gave it 4 stars.
Heck yeah.
I listened to all of Broken Bonds by Jay Bree, which is the first in the Broken Bonds series, I think it's called.
Great.
And I gave that 4 stars.
I thought you gave it 4.5.
No.
Or was that a different one?
I listened to all of The Push by Ashley Audrain.
Yeah.
It's a like psychological drama.
Yeah.
I gave that 4.5 stars.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
And I read all of Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller.
Heck yeah.
And gave that 4 stars. I had a good week.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And I started listening to Aragon by Christopher Polini.
Heck yeah.
I listened to about 42% of that.
Dragons.
Dragons! I love dragons. Come on.
Me too.
And this is my first time ever reading this series. I know it's YA, but like,
so
come on.
Still fun. Dragons.
Come on.
Come on.
And last one, besides our buddy read.
Yeah.
I listened to 80% of The Keeper of Hidden Books by Madeline Martin.
Heck yeah. Which sounds really interesting.
It is. It's so good. It's a historical fiction about World War II. Hitler banned books. And this lady and a group of people are trying to keep books circulating.
I love that. I love the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you read this week, Danielle? Or are you reading?
Well, Sarah. Well, I finished Caraway of the Sea finally by freaking Madeline Burgett. Burgett, and I gave that a 3.5 star.
Hell yeah.
And then I listened to all of Goblet of Fire by Jackie Rowling, the fourth Harry Potter book. Come on. And I gave that sucker a 5 star because obviously. And then I listened to all of If Something Happens to Me by Alex Finlay, and gave that one a 3 star. That was like a thriller, unsolved missing person case. And other than that, I started listening to The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I got 27% of the way through. This is another thriller, and it's pretty good so far. I am reading the second Poppy War book, The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang, and I'm about 152 pages in, and it's really good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And together, we also read another 291 pages of Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. It's just so dang good. Oh my God.
It's so good. I'm loving it. I'm
Yeah.
loving it. We're over 50% now, which makes
I know.
me happy.
Oh my gosh. It's so good. But like SJM, come on. Come on. Yeah. If you want to hear more about all of that, then you can find you should go to our YouTube channel, Books and Crannies Podcast, to listen into our weekly personal check-ins.
Yeah.
And we give lots of reviews and talk about books that we aren't reading for the podcast.
Yeah.
So
or if you don't want to listen to us talk for 40 minutes straight, then you can go look at just our reviews on TikTok.
Yeah, or Instagram at Books and Crannies Podcast.
Yeah.
And let us know what y'all are reading. Let us know how you felt about this book. Do all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And also help us out on the socials, guys. You know, engage with us. Subscribe, comment, like.
Leave us a rating if you're listening on a podcast platform.
Do it.
Or else.
Or else. Yeah. I don't know what the or else is, but
or else you can't listen anymore. You're not allowed.
You're kicked out of the cool kids club.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We're glad you're here. But I think that's all we got, guys.
Yeah.
Next week is Christmas week.
Yeah, it is.
So get excited for whatever that's going to be. Mm-hmm. And we hope y'all are doing well and having a good holiday season. And thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. We love you guys.
We do.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Happy reading.
Happy reading.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.